Hello! Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For this week, I am going to use the Thelema deck by Renata Lechner, I want to say. Where's your name? Is it Renata Lechner? I thought it was Renata Lechner. Yep, Renata Lechner, sorry. I knew it was there somewhere. And then the website is here at the bottom, loscarebo.com. Focus, camera, focus. Hopefully it's focusing. Feel free to freeze frame on that if you're interested in that information. Supportive Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish, and there's the hayhouse.com website at the bottom. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you are interested. Last but not least, I do use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana. I substitute 22 for 0 for the Fool. I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and then I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element. And they are from the Dice Shop. The website is mathartfun.com. Hopefully you can see that. All right. And, of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. And now, let's go on to your reading. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for when you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? Is that good? Do we like that? You got 3 of Pentacles. You got some Pentacle energy coming in. Ace of Pentacles trying to show up. Okay. The past is harder than the future. I feel like one of the reasons the past is harder than the future is because you remember how people are. And you remember the people you've had to deal with. And it's kind of like... I don't know. I do have some Aries placements. I definitely do. I don't know if this is where I get that from or not. But it's kind of like, once I see somebody for who they are, it's very hard for me to change my mind. It's not impossible. It takes a lot of work, though. And I really have to believe that something has changed and have a really good reason to feel like something is different here. Takes a lot for me to change my mind, and I'm thinking that might be an Aries trait, but let me know if I'm wrong. Kind of like, you know, when you, like, it might take you a minute to decide if you really like somebody or not, but once you get there, like, it's easy to ruin a reputation. It's really difficult to repair a reputation. That's what I'm thinking I'm trying to get at. Like, if somebody was in good standing, but they ruin the reputation, yeah, that can happen quickly. But somebody who has a bad reputation, trying to correct their reputation, that takes a lot. That takes a lot. I think. I don't know if that... I feel like that's the Aries connection, but if I'm wrong, let me know. Because there's been conflict with somebody in the past. Aries typically stands up for themselves. They're usually pretty good at that. In my opinion, it's a good thing because I feel like it's better to be somebody who says something than be a doormat. I think it's much better to be somebody who people maybe think you're a little bit rude or maybe think you're a little bit too harsh. I'd rather be that than be somebody's doormat. So... If they don't like it, they don't need to like it. Unless you're in a job situation, and that's a whole different horse. A whole different horse. There's been conflict in the past. I do feel like I already have an opinion of somebody. Where is this leading you? I feel like the past is harder than the future. I keep getting that. Because it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know why they were that way, but... I see them in a certain light, and something wasn't right here. Something wasn't right. The tower reversed, which means things did not fall apart, but looks like they should have, and maybe in your opinion, maybe they should have. Aries is not usually afraid of the tower. Aries is typically like, listen, it's messed up, kick it over. Kick it over so we can fix it. If somebody stops that, you're like, you dragged this out way too long. We could have just knocked it over and fixed it, but no, we're pretending this tower is better than it is. It's my interpretation of Aries, of course. If I'm wrong, I'm sure you'll let me know. this might be part of the problem, because I do feel like there was conflict with somebody and they stopped the tower from falling. They weren't sure if it was the right thing to do, but they did do it. And Aries does not like it when people get away with things that they shouldn't get away with. And I feel like this is partly a part of this little mix. Like maybe somebody protected other people and you're like, they did wrong, they should have paid for what they did, they should have been accountable, but this person protected them and you're like, that's not right. This could be a long time ago. It depends if this is a family thing. This could be something where you had suspected this was going on, and then later you found out, yep, that's what they did. They totally let this person skip by. If this is a work thing, I cringe that I'm going to say this. I don't think this is information in the sense of like totally new to you. The purpose of HR is not for the employees. The purpose of HR is to protect the business from lawsuits. That's like the purpose of HR is for the business. That's why the business pays for it. They're to make sure that things work out in their favor as much as possible. I don't know why. I just feel like I need to say that for some people. Like HR is not there for you. Like it was like, it's not there for you as an employee. I'm sorry, it's really not. It's for the business to protect itself and to mediate problems and keep things from becoming lawsuits and stuff like that. That's why that whole thing is there. That's the purpose of HR. Human resources is paid for by the business for that reason. I don't know why I'm going there, but maybe I do, because I feel like if this is a business situation, the reason certain people got away with what they got away with is because they're avoiding potential fallout that's much more expensive. That might be literally the reason. Because if you admit certain things are going on, then you become liable for them. Is that true? I don't know. I'm getting, maybe that's the mentality with it. I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying that's what I'm getting. Whoever this person is that you have conflict with, they're not happy about it either, but they feel like they had to do what they had to do. They had to do what they were there's certain expectations they had to uphold. But I feel like we're coming to a point where they're realizing that maybe they protected people and it was a bad idea, or they protected people for a while and they're like, you know what, I think we've protected certain people along a little bit too long. I thought this was going to go better. This has not gone better. I feel like we need to kind of cut some of the fat on this one. Best possible decision, and the magical powers. It's kind of like the magician card. I feel like it's a long delayed change. I really do, but I do feel like better late than never. I don't know if you feel that way. I feel like you might be more aggravated, like why didn't we just do it that way in the beginning? Certain things didn't play out, like I feel like with the delayed response, the tower never did fall. It should have. And now only select people are paying the price. I feel like it is only select people are paying the price. It's kind of like some people got the clue, like you're lucky you're still here. Toe the line, and some people are like, I better, because I need this job if it was a job situation. Other people are like, I'll get away with this for as long as I want to, and they were wrong. Because I get like, this is an abrupt change, a harsh change. I feel like this is very emotional and difficult. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that people don't know about. There's a lot of moving pieces. It's very transitory. It's not lasting all that long. The question is, what's coming up next for you? What's coming up next for you? Well, do we talk about this or this first? This. Okay. There's a rebuilding situation going on here. Something was removed. Something was taken out of the situation. Like if it was a work situation, either people were literally let go or they were moved away from the situation where they don't have that power anymore. It reminds me of a job I had where we had a couple bad managers and they didn't fire them or even discipline them. They simply changed their role. The rest of us knew why their role had changed, but it was played off like they wanted to do that. We all knew that that wasn't the case. And we all like smiled and nodded, like, mm-hmm, yeah. Yep, they should have fired you, but instead they gave you a new role where you don't have to actually manage people. That's interesting. But, you know, good on you. I'm a little spicy with that one. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that annoyance. Kind of like, this isn't right, but they're starting to rebuild it, moving things around. Again, maybe some people were fired. If we're doing the job analogy thing, it's just an analogy. Maybe they were moved to a position where they couldn't create damage like they had before, and they were more, and now they're going to be more monitored. Whatever you want to say for that. So, a secondary level behind the scenes that you may not be aware of, is people getting stuck. Alliances that are not well known. Now, the alliance is not well known. I've seen this happen a few times. I have. Where at work, people act like they barely know each other. But then, you know, every now and then on a weekend, they're hanging out together. They're vacationing together. Once in a while, you see a photo where you're like, oh, that's interesting. You guys happen to see each other? I'm just saying, some people keep it very quiet in certain places, and then they let their hair down in others. And people have relationships that it may not be common knowledge. Because I'm getting that with this Two of Cups. Could be romantic, doesn't have to be. But I feel like I've seen this with like people that are best friends and people don't know it. It's almost like somebody works at a company, they get their best friend in, they pretend they barely know each other, and then that best friend starts moving up the ranks quite easily. I've seen that happen only once, but I've seen it happen. There's a lot going on here with people moving forward and things changing, and a lot of moving on behind the scenes. People are restructuring things behind the scenes and trying to get what they want. That fire energy is interesting because you got water and fire here. 8 of Cups. It's kind of trying to move on from it. And the Moon card reversed. 8 of Cups is trying to move on from something that wasn't working for something better. Or sometimes people look at the 8 of Cups like it was good, but maybe not good enough, so they want to go on to something better. That Moon card reverse is like the truth coming out. That should be like things being just flat out honest. But these things are behind the scenes, so that's confusing me. Like, I feel like people in that circle know exactly what's going on. So if you had a management team of like 13 people, just for argument's sake, all the people on the management team know what's going on here, know what's moving forward. Maybe not outside of the management team, because I'm like, this is kind of like, it was all hidden. So it's like if you're dealing at a company, especially if it's a larger corporate company, the managers all know what's going on. People below that level do not. So that might be going on behind the scenes too. I don't think that would shock you if this is a business thing. So how can Aries handle this in a way that benefits Aries? Don't keep going as you've been going. Don't keep growing with the situation. That may seem strange. Don't keep growing with it. Don't keep growing. Like the 8 of Pentacles is like putting in the work and almost getting to the point where it's like, all right, I guess it's almost over. I don't feel like it's over. Trying to get over it. Trying to be like, all right, this isn't my thing. This is them. I clearly don't have any ability to change what's going on here, so I'm just not going to worry about it and just going to do my own thing. And just whatever their problem is just that, their problem. They're saying don't do that? Okay. This is the most beneficial path for Aries. They're saying don't do that. Okay. Let's see what they're saying. It's information. You want it, you take it. You don't want it, you don't take it. You want some of it, you take some of it. You don't want some of it, you don't take some of it. Whatever. You know, however it works for you. I mean, you're still watching if you're hearing me say this. Knight of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Keep an eye out for the Wheel of Fortune. These things are happening. People trying to make things work out, things moving forward very quickly. Whoever's moving forward very quickly, that might be a ticket in for you. And I don't know exactly where it's a ticket into. It's a general read, but I'm getting like, pay attention. See what people want and let it work to your benefit, especially if this is a work situation. If other people are moving forward in this way, strategize. Let this work for you too. There's no reason it can't. I'm not a fan of situational morality. I'm not promoting that. I don't believe. But I'm also getting like, you can move forward in an honorable way. Just because you see the opening doesn't mean you should announce it to everybody. Just you see the opening, go for it. You know what they want, push that forward and say, I can help you get that. I get this, you get that. Why not? Why not? I don't feel like that's situational morality. Like, if you're trying to screw somebody over and lie and cheat and steal, that could be situational morality. Yeah, it could be. See your moment, move forward, and let this work to your advantage. Whatever the situation is, it's better if you move forward, because you're going to slip in before they realize who slipped in. Because typically Aries will say stuff every now and then. They won't put up with too much BS. And that's very helpful for the situation. You could help this situation be a little bit more honest. Will it be perfect? Absolutely not. And I don't think you'd believe me if I said it would. But it could be better. It can at least improve. And you could be a very important part of that improving. But also watch your butt. Don't let people use that against you. Just because you're honest and you call things out, don't let people use that against you. You know what I mean? Wait for your moment. You'll be able to move forward in some fashion to a position you want. You're a double-edged sword for people because you're honest, but you're loyal to the right people. If people respect you and looked out for you and are honest and good to you, you're fair game. You'll do that back too. If people are honest with you, respect you, and do for you the way you do for them, you'll keep looking out for them within reason. Within reason. The double-edged sword is, though, if they pull some crap, you're not going to... Usually Aries won't put up with it. Not usually. Ace of Cups is telling me they love you there. The Strength is telling me that it's very difficult because you're making them kind of toe the line in the way they should do things versus the easier way. Easier way. I like this today. I'm into the bunny ears today. It's going to help the situation. The situation will become a lot stronger and a lot more stable and a lot more reliable, because people won't be able to create their horse crap because they're afraid you're gonna call them out. It's good. They should have that fear. That's not a bad thing. Let them fear that. They should. It's not a bad thing. Like, only thing I could see Aries going is like, ugh. They're like almost like they're like saying that, like, as if you're the bad one. I don't think that's what's going on here. You're not the bad one. Some people appreciate that. Some people appreciate that per day in the sense of like, well, if it's a day where it goes their way, they appreciate it that day. But if it's a day where they want to play some BS and they're like, no, Aries is here, I can't, then they won't the other day. But don't let it hold you down. Be aware of people who tell you have to be more diplomatic. Be very aware of that. I don't know if it's beware or be aware, but both if you need to. There's some very good people out there who want to control you. And if they feel like if they can stifle what you say sometimes or have control of what you say, they're in that same boat of like being problematic. So be careful. Don't let them get too much from you. Because you can get a lot more out of this situation. And I do get, like, people do see the benefit of having you in that situation. Sometimes people love it because the people who are playing games that they don't like get called out and they get stopped. Sometimes they don't like it because they're the people that want to play the games and they're like, oh, no, I got Aries here. I'm not going to be able to play my BS game. That's not a bad thing on you. That's a bad thing on them. Sometimes some of the nicest people like to play those games. They just do. And they feel validated and entitled to do so. Doesn't mean they actually are. Just because they feel that way. More and more is going to come out of this situation. It's one of those things where it's your double-edged sword, and they're going to see you that way. They're going to see you that way. Just don't let it get you down. Realize that that's an honor. That's a good thing. You know what I mean? It's because you have that standing where people know that you're not going to put up with it. Again, just because sometimes it works to them, and sometimes it works against them, that's not a you problem. That's a them problem. Let's remember that. I like that saying. I say that a lot lately. It's not a you problem. It's a them problem. As long as they don't become a problem for you, it's fine. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.